Hello and welcome to the Dream Big podcast. Today, in the episode 307, we will be re-releasing one of our favorite interviews with Kechi Okwuchi. Enjoy your episode.
Hi, it's Eva Cartman, and you're listening to the Dream Big podcast show, the place to go to learn, laugh, and grow. I cannot begin to describe how excited I am to introduce you to this week's guest. She was one of my favorite contestants ever on America's Got Talent, and more importantly, she is one of, if not the most incredible woman that I have ever had a pleasure speaking with. This is episode 130, Big Dreamers, with the inspiring Kechi Okwuchi. It is time to dream big.
Welcome to the Dream Big podcast show. We're inspiring you to shoot for the moon, take aim and go. We bring to you amazing guests who truly love what they do. Every day they're living their dreams, and so can you. Dream big, take action to reach your goals. Are you pumped yet? It's showtime, let's rock and roll.
Hi, Big Dreamers. Before I introduce you to Kechi, I wanted to let you know that you can now get my free Confidence Secrets course, which over 1 hour of me teaching you about how to develop your superpower of self-belief. This Confidence Secrets course is going to be part of the Dream Big Academy that we launch later this year, but for a limited time, we are offering access to this content for free at dreambigpodcast.com/beta. If you're a younger Big Dreamer listening to this, please ask your parents to help you get it. Again, it's completely free for a limited time only, so please take advantage and get the course while you still can at dreambitpodcast.com/beta. Okay, now let's turn our attention to this week's amazing guest, Kechi. My family first found out about Kechi while watching one of our favorite TV shows, America's Got Talent, a few years ago. We were moved by her talent and her story. As Kechi will share, she was one of the 2 survivors in a tragic plane crash on December 10th, 2005 in Nigeria. She was the only student out of 60 classmates from her high school to survive the crash. She suffered horrific injuries and burns all over her body, and you can imagine how most everyone would have let this experience destroy their life. But Kechi chose a different path. Not only was she the finalist in 2017 season of America's Got Talent, but she was invited back to compete in the America's Got Talent Champion show this season and got Simon Cowell's golden buzzer. And I remember our whole family being so excited for her when the golden confetti was falling all around her. Without further ado, I'm thrilled to introduce Kechi to our Big Dreamers. I'm sure at this point you can't wait any longer to hear this interview, so let's roll the tape. Hi, Kechi.
Hi, Eva.
I'm so thrilled that you agreed to be a guest on the Dream Big podcast.
Of course.
Like, me and my family watched you on season 12 of America's Got Talent, and we literally fell in love with you and your voice.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and we were really excited to see you back on America's Got Talent, the Champions season.
Yes,
even more excited,
that was fun.
Like when Simon gave you the golden buzzer.
I know. Oh my gosh, that was incredible. I still get like goosebumps remembering how that moment felt. Honestly.
Wow. For the Big Dreamers and listeners out there, we'll include some links to some of Kechi's AGT videos of Kechi singing just on AGT in our show notes.
Yes.
Yeah. So I encourage everyone to listen to it.
Thank you. They're all on YouTube, so easy access.
Yeah, on YouTube too. So I think one of the reasons why America fell in love with you and your amazing, amazing voice, also because of the plane crash that you were in, the tragic plane crash that you were involved in at the age of 16, and how you didn't let that destroy your life, and quite the opposite, how as part of your healing process, you developed this beautiful gift of singing. So for those who did not see AGT, you need to watch it first. And Kechi, could you share what happened on December 10th, 2005?
No problem. So I'm Nigerian originally, and I was in Nigeria when the accident happened. I was in high school. Actually, I was a senior in high school, and I was heading home for Christmas, for the Christmas holidays. So I actually went to a boarding school, like a boarding high school. So we would, those of us who lived in the same area would board the same plane to get home. And so there were 61 kids from my school who were going home that day. So 61 of us were on that plane with other passengers, and there were 109 total people on the plane. So that day started like a very normal day. We got on the bus from school to the airport, and then we boarded the plane with other people, other strangers that we didn't know. And everything was fine really on the flight, except for about 15 minutes to landing, when the pilot makes the announcement that we would be landing in the airport soon. That was when like the turbulence got really bad and very scary, and really just made everyone start panicking on the plane. And around that time, I remember I held my friend's hand because she was on the aisle seat next to mine. And literally the last thing that we said to each other was maybe we should pray, because we had no clue what was happening. And that was the only thing that came to mind to do in that moment. But then before we actually got to praying or saying anything further than that, then there was this loud, like metal scraping sound that was so irritating, like nails on chalkboard, like inside my head. And my next memory from that is literally opening my eyes in a hospital in South Africa 5 weeks after. And then when I woke up, I was told, over time what had happened. And I realized that I was the only student that survived on the plane, and that I was one of only 2 survivors total from the entire accident. So that was basically what happened during that time.
Wow. Kechi, I must say that while it is impossible to imagine the physical pain you endured and the pain of losing so many of your classmates, I think America fell in love with your courage and your perseverance and your bravery and your voice, and the idea that even people who live through the darkest, most horrible experience can still ultimately find their purpose and have a positive attitude about life.
That's exactly right. That's true. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. Thank you.
Thank you. So can you tell the story of why and how you came to audition for America's Got Talent? Because obviously it was one of the best decisions of your life. But Definitely. You could have made the decision to not step on stage.
That's true too.
That would have definitely been the easier one. So can you share the story of why you decided to?
Yeah, definitely. So I was actually in the middle of getting my MBA. I was getting my master's in university. I was in college when the whole thing started. I was very focused on my educational path and getting into business. So I was extremely, focused on the academics, so singing was something that brought me a lot of joy, always did. It was a big part of my therapy, healing from my burns and just going through all my different surgeries. So it had a very special place in my heart, but singing out in front of strangers was something I had never really done before AGT. The only place I'd done that before the show was in church. I was singing it. I was part of my worship team in church, but mostly I sang for my family and my friends. So AGT was really going from 0 to 100 in the space of a couple months. But incidentally, it was actually one of my best friends that signed me up for the show. She had been telling me to do so for years, but she knew I was just never gonna get to it because I just didn't think I was good enough for a show like that, So she just kind of took the application, filled it out on the online platform, and then she sent it to me and told me that she just needed me to just press submit, and that's all I needed to do. So she did all the work, and I just pressed submit, and just forgot about it. And then a few months after, when I was completely, it wasn't even on my radar anymore, I got a phone call from an agent from AGT saying they saw my video that was attached to my application, and that's how everything started. So I was also working at the time too, so it was really a struggle figuring out how to take time off from work to go to LA and shoot what they needed to shoot for the show and come back. And I was really having a hard time figuring out if I was doing the right thing by giving so much time to something that may or may not actually end up being important or just memorable for me, so it definitely was a struggle to decide to go on full time to AGT and to just commit fully. But obviously I'm very happy that I did, and I had so many people supporting me and encouraging me to keep doing it, like my mom and my friend and my family and all of these people that started following me online and encouraging me. So it's really one of the best decisions I ever made. But ultimately it started from my friend, so I give her all the credit, basically.
Yeah, it's amazing that your friend did that. And I know that all of America is thrilled that you decided to audition. And I think it teaches us all a lesson about pushing yourself and making bold decisions, and that friends can definitely help.
Yep. The best people, it's important who you surround yourself with, for sure. The people around you they make a big part of who you are. So if you're around positive people, supportive people, and not just people who always agree with you, then you're on the right path, definitely.
Yeah. And if you're around negative people, then you'll also be negative. So you don't really want to be around those negative people.
No, you don't.
Fill your world with just positive people.
Exactly. Good things happen from there.
So we listened to your TED Talk, and you talked about your TED Talk about how you live by a concept that you referred to as know thyself. So can you share what that means and what you basically taught in your TED Talk?
No problem, of course. So that was a talk that was specifically geared mostly to girls, all over the world. Because I come from a place where there's a lot of, how do I explain? Almost pushing aside of, just females and treating them as almost second-class citizens, second to men, basically. There's a lot of situations where men's opinions and choices are given more exposure and more weight than that of women. And I feel like that stems from school, when we're little and what we're told that we can and can't study. And I feel like, because of that, a lot of girls feel they grow up pigeonholed, thinking that they only have a certain path that they have to follow. No matter what you do in life, you're going to have to one day grow up, and then eventually you're going to have to just get married and then have children. And then that would be your ultimate fulfillment of the point of your existence. And I was trying to explain that I don't think that that's correct. I want people to know that it doesn't matter whether you're a guy or a girl. It doesn't matter. You can have dreams further than such traditional views just getting married and having kids. That's obviously something wonderful as well. Of course, I think if you want to do that, that's fine. But I think that people should be aware that that is not the be all end all, of being a woman. You can have other dreams aside from that. It's okay. And I think that we just need to be, my society, specifically in Nigeria, I want us to be more open-minded to the idea of a girl having dreams further than, just getting married and having kids. You can do that, but you can also do anything else you want to do. So that was really the point of that. And that's why I titled it Know Thyself. Girls, know thyself. Because you don't want to just do things that someone else tells you that you should do, because then that's them defining who you are and defining your worth. You want to define your own worth for yourself. And that's when you do that, you find out who you are, and then you find out what you want to do. And that was pretty much what my talk was about.
That's exactly what I love telling our big dreamers, that you can do anything in life, even at a young age. It doesn't matter what you do if you're a girl or a boy. If you're a girl, you can play basketball if you want. You can do whatever you want.
Exactly.
You can choose more activities and new activities. Yeah, and explore.
Very important. Yes. Explore. That's how else do you find out who you are if you don't try different things? You wouldn't know what you like until you try a whole bunch of things, and not just the things that, people around you tell you that you should be trying. That's so limiting. So yeah.
Yeah. You definitely have to find out what you're doing in life.
Mm-hmm.
So Kechi, one of the subjects that I am also passionate about on my podcast is about the problem of bullying in our schools.
Yes.
Because kids can just be so mean sometimes.
That is true.
What would be your advice for kids out there who are made fun of because of their physical appearance or for any other reason?
Like kids who are being bullied for being different, or whatever other reason there is. Honestly, when I think about bullying, it really saddens me, and it has a very personal place in my heart because my little sister actually went through a lot of that after we moved here to America. And it was really just, the most common type of bullying when, you're bullied because you're just different or unique in some way. I think the thing that gives bullies the most power is when they use something that is unique about you against you, and they try to make it seem like that thing that makes you unique is something that should be laughed at or like you should be embarrassed about. But a lot of times those unique things about us, those things that make us unique are part of what make us who we are and actually what we should be the most proud of. So you take a bully's power away when you are proud of the thing that they think that you should not be proud of. And that's what I think I tried my best to kind of, along with my mom and my dad, we try to put that into my little sister to understand that her uniqueness is something that is worth celebrating and not anything that anyone can make fun of if she doesn't have to let them make fun of that. And if she's around people who make her feel bad about what makes her who she is, then she needs to cut those people off because then they're not her real friends and they don't really care about her. And once, we kept reinforcing this idea of her embracing her uniqueness from, as much as we could, we found that, she was able to let go of certain friendships that were toxic. And then as she grew older, people who were like her, people who were like-minded and who believed what she believed, started to attract to her. And she started being attracted to people like that as well. And that's how she was able to form more healthy relationships and more lasting friendships. I mean, these are friends that she has till today and probably will have for the rest of her life because they're people who understand that being unique is something to be celebrated. So I just want more people to be aware of the fact that a bully's power is something that you can take away from them once you understand that you are unique because you are precious and, you should celebrate that thing that makes you unique. So that's what I would like to tell most people out there who are going through that. And I really hope that, at least one person, one of your big dreamers listening would, feel something from, my words.
Yeah, because if you let a bully get under your skin, you're letting them win. So just have pride in your uniqueness.
You got it, Eva. That's exactly right. Yep.
So I believe that your TED Talk happened before America's Got Talent, so you had some experience of being in front of an audience. But with America's Got Talent, you were singing for millions of people. Were you nervous and scared?
Of course. I mean, I still get nervous getting on any stage today. I mean, AGT was something that happened in 2017 and it's literally 2 years later and I'm still having the heartbeat and everything, when I'm about to sing. It's just, I think it's something that just comes naturally from being in front of a bunch of people who are there because they expect something from you and they expect good things from you and you don't want to let them down. Obviously though, my very first experience on that stage was 10 times worse and more nerve-wracking than how I feel today. So, there's a lot to be said for experiences. The more you do something and the better you get at it, then the more confident you are in front of people doing it. So, my first time on that stage, I was super nervous. My heart was pounding in my ears and I could barely hear the music playing. But, I just thank God that I was able to actually get through that moment because every time from then has just been better and better and better and less nerve-wracking until I got to the finale. And that was really my least nervous moment on that entire show. So I think, yes, for sure. I mean, the nerves are always going to be there, but they keep me prepared. They make me not take anything for granted and to always just never become too overconfident, so that way I'm always on my toes, and always prepared. So I guess in a way, the nerves are kind of like a blessing and a curse at the same time. But I'm learning every day to kind of adapt to them, and just kind of work through it as I'm singing, and then just kind of use it in a way to make my performance better, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's actually great advice for our listeners out there, because you can turn your nerves into something that's actually good. You can turn into positive energy.
Yep, exactly.
That helps you out on stage.
And drives you. Yep, perfect. Exactly right.
Yeah. So I'm sure that when you were on America's Got Talent, you might be scared, nervous, pain, anger. And do you have any tips for like days when you're just feeling down? Like when you miss your friends and how unfair it is that the plane crash happened to you?
Definitely. I think when I was on the show, I definitely had moments when I just, a lot of times too, I had what I really experienced on the show when I had down moments was like a lot of self-doubt, because I wasn't sure. A lot of times I wouldn't be sure if I actually belonged there, or if, I was as good as the other competitors, if some of the, because, a lot of people, there's a lot of positive, but there's also a lot of negative. And as much as you try to stay focused on the positive, sometimes every once in a while you will see one or two comments saying something negative. And so, unfortunately, being humans, even though 99% is positive, we just focus on the 1% that's negative, And so I had moments where I would wonder if I actually belonged where I was, and if I was good enough. But that really was something that only, the people around me could pull me out of. I had a lot of fantastic support from just my support system, really, in general, was the kind that was so encouraging and helped me understand that I wasn't out there to please any commenters or anyone saying anything online. I was out there to prove to myself that I belonged on that show and that I had something to give and to share with people. And so it was more about not letting myself down than not letting anyone else down. So it also helped when, I would sing and the judges would have such great feedback for me, especially from Simon, who knows music. And, when he says to you something like, you definitely belong here, not just because of your story, but because of your talent. Those are words that definitely make you feel like validated and make you feel like, you can go on and you do deserve to be here. So I got that from Simon. I got that from the other judges, from my family. And that really helped me kind of stay on the positive side of things more than stay on the negative. So, tips would definitely be, again, going back to who you have around you. When you're down, you don't want people who are down to around you, or you don't want people or you don't want to be alone. In fact, when you're down, you want to have people around you who, you can always talk to about however you're feeling. You want people around you who will give you good advice. You want, people around you who will, reaffirm, your confidence in yourself. And that's really what I got from, my family and my friends.
Yeah, the biggest key takeaway here is like you want to be surrounded by people who care about you, people who are positive, people who you can talk to.
Yes.
You're feeling down. So sometimes all you got to do is have those people near you and then go outside for a bit of fresh air.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes the distraction helps too. When you're so focused on something, you can obsess about it, but then sometimes you might need someone to take your mind off it and just do something completely different for a while. And then when you come back to that thing that's giving you like so many problems, you might have like a whole different perspective that you hadn't seen before. So sometimes stepping away from the problem for just a brief amount of time can actually help you deal with the problem.
So true. All you got to do, put some music on.
Yep, that's what I do.
Got talent. Yeah, so Kechi, before we go, I want to ask you 2 more questions.
No problem. Shoot.
You have already made many of your dreams a reality, but if you look at yourself right now, today, what is your big dream for the future?
I want to say my most immediate dream right now is to put out as much original music as possible. I want people to hear my sound and hear me sing songs that that I wrote, that people wrote for me, that I worked on, that no one has ever heard before. And I want my message of inspiration and just hope to be that's what I want to focus on in my music, and I want to share that with the world. So I'm actually currently working on my very first full original album, and I'm very excited because it's going to come out this year, and I am so hyped to share it with the world, honestly. So that's my most immediate project right now. But my big dream is to one day perform those songs, my original songs, at like a concert. That's something that I think anyone who's in this industry would love. And that's definitely like my biggest goal for sure.
Well, when you do that concert, and I know you will, me and my whole family will definitely be there cheering.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I love that. Thank you.
And when Kechi's album comes out, Big Dreamers and listeners out there, make sure you listen to it, get it, do whatever you can do to
just get that music. Yes. Thank you.
So for our last question, where can our audience find out more about you and your amazing voice?
Oh, okay. So you can go on YouTube and literally just type Kechi AGT, and I guess all my performances are going to probably show up there. And then you can also follow me on my social media. Again, Twitter, it's Kechi on Facebook, and it's Kechi AGT on Instagram. And that way you can keep up to date on anything I talk about, regarding my album or any event that I have that I perform and different things like that. So I hope you guys, go there, visit me, and just, just follow me on my journey because it's fun. And also my website, kechiofficial.com. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have one, and I'm on every platform pretty much. Just type Kechi and I'll pop up for sure. So follow me, subscribe, and yeah.
Yeah, everybody, follow her, subscribe, listen, YouTube, websites, everything.
Everything.
Thank you, Kechi, so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you. This was so much fun. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, love. Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Eva Cartman reminding you that you have unlimited potential. Your dreams are not optional. You need to make them essential. So take massive action to turn those big dreams into reality. Live with passion, the way life is meant to be. I'll see you next episode. Bye.